Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the office. This is the office. It may seem like a pretty insignificant room in a large factory, but trust me, it's very important.
In the office, executive decisions are made, the kind of decisions that determine what the factory is going to do. Also, the office is where the factory manager spends time to be available to workers who need to see them. The manager has power in the factory to help, even if they aren't on the factory floor themselves.
God's our factory manager. Last week we talked about how God created everything, the assembly room in God's factory. Now we're talking about how God works to help us and is on our side. He's our manager. In fact, there's a story that tells us about how good of a manager God is. It's found in the book of Joshua.
Joshua was the second man who was in charge of a group of people called the Israelites, God's people. God commanded Joshua to prepare to cross over into the Promised Land, and it would all be given to the Israelites. Although the enemies were strong, God would be with them. He told them to be strong and courageous, because God would be with Joshua wherever he went. So Joshua gathered many of the Israelites and told them to prepare to enter the Promised Land with their warriors. He then sent 2 spies into a city called Jericho, which had high walls and was very strong. The 2 spies met a woman there named Rahab, who hid them in her home and lied to the king, saying that the spies had already left. Rahab then asked them to spare her when they conquered Jericho, because she knew that their God was the true God. They told her that because she saved them, they would also save her and her family. Be strong and courageous, for the Lord is with you.
Eventually, the Israelites did attack and capture Jericho. Because God was with them, they were able to defeat its strong walls. However, because God was with Rahab as well, she and her family were spared. Now think of Rahab and the Israelites as workers in God's factory. They were doing things for him, so of course he'll help them and protect them. We too are workers in God's factory. When we work for God, he will always work for us, and we can go to him with our problems. In this office, God makes decisions to help the factory and listens to us, the workers, when we have troubles.